I see a girl in the back. She's sitting there reading and she looks quite pretty. You see her? And I want to see if I can talk to her. Maybe hear her story. So let's check it out. Hi, excuse me. I just think you look really lovely. And I do normally like vlogs. And I'm wondering if you would want to talk.
My English is not too good.
What are you reading?
It's just like a comedy.
Yeah, I saw you laughing a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit funny.
But you can understand me, so which is good enough, right?
Yeah,
Do you want to have a conversation with me?
sure.
Yeah, that would be great. Can I sit with you?
Why
What's your name?
not? Lila.
What?
Lila.
Lina. Pam.
Pam.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What are the books that you like normally?
Philosophy books are also.
I love
my-
philosophy.
Yes?
Yeah. Actually, I started it since I was in high school. I started to read a lot about philosophy, and then in university, I started to write some philosophy by myself.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You have your books?
Actually, I did. I published my first book back almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
I'm trying to write my second book now.
And what is it called?
Well, it's in Chinese.
Oh, okay. What can you translate it to?
It's mostly about my stories and poetry and philosophy and art. Oh, by the way, I'm an artist,
Whoa.
so I do paintings mostly.
Paintings.
Yeah, and I also do sculpture design and stuff like that.
Okay, that's
So-
interesting. And what are you doing in Poland?
I just live,
Here?
Yeah, I live here actually. So I just, talk to random people, sharing stories. Actually, I wanted to start a new project to share other people's story instead of my own. Because before I was sharing my own stories
Oh.
and like ideas, stories, art, stuff like that. You could be the first person actually.
Yes.
I just started it, so I guess you're in high school?
Yes, I am in high school.
How old are you? 16?
Uh,
15? 16?
I am 17
17.
in third grade.
Okay. Yeah. Because you have 4 years
Yes,
of
4 years
four
and
years high
then
school.
matura. Now we have first we have 8 years of
Primary
school and then high
4
school.
years of high school. That's very different because in China we still have like 6-year primary school, 3-year middle school, and 3-year high school.
Well, that was a good system, so I
Yeah.
wonder why they changed it.
Different politics, I guess.
Yeah.
So you still have 1 year to go to university.
Yes.
Anything that you may like?
Well, I really like mathematics.
No way.
Yes, I really-
Seriously?
Yes.
My major was math.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought that maths was just way better than like Polish, for example, because well, you just have a simple question and you have to answer.
Exactly,
and, yes,
right?
And
Th-
you can't go wrong.
Yeah, like this beauty in math actually.
Yes.
Like for the people who understand math, I feel like we can see the beauty in it.
Yes.
But
no,
those-
not many people can see.
No, not at all. But I heard so many people when they don't like math, they just don't like it in general.
Yeah, I know. Most of the people don't like maths for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, it is difficult.
Yes,
I think
it
for
is.
them.
But that's the best thing about it. That
Yeah.
It's like silly little.
But for me, I think, yes, it's difficult, but at the same time, it has like a simplicity as well, because there's always a certain answer to a question.
Yes.
It's not chaotic like the world. So
In other subjects, you just can like put your soul in the answer, and the teacher will always say that well, it isn't really what they wanted you to say. So.
yeah, exactly. I mean, especially when I was we have like Chinese class. You
Yeah,
probably
they-
have like Polish,
they're
right?
Polish, yes.
So they gave you a question, and there's always different answer to it.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm talking
there's
about.
no such thing as like certain answer. It's just annoying,
Yeah.
Like it's just like why. I always question like why make it correct. You know what I mean?
Yes, I hate it.
So
That's why
it's
math
so
is the
terrible.
best.
I mean, I love writing. Don't get me wrong. I love reading. I love literature. But use it as a standard one. It's just wrong,
That's the same how I feel.
right?
We shouldn't be like I don't know how to say it, but when someone is trying to judge what I what I wrote, then it isn't really.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like art. Like, I mean, of course, in the past few centuries, you can tell you have a standard nowadays which art is good or not is bad. But this is just like already been selected by time. And now, in the modern age, it's really hard to tell which art is good or not, especially when the capitalists come in. A lot of people, like a lot of artists, actually they do have good art, creative one, but they don't necessarily get famous or profitable. So it's really hard to have this kind of like standard. That's really cool to meet someone who's into math. That's because when I was young, I always think like math is like a universal language.
In every language you can just solve those questions.
Exactly.
Well, I could be in Chinese class and solving the same equations.
Yeah, I mean, and also even though right now I don't really use math that much after I graduate from university, but it's not just about numbers or things like that. It's all more about the logical thinking for me. You know, when I study math, I began to learn the logical thinking. And I started to be able to solve problems, even came into real life, instead of complaining.
It really develops the brain.
Exactly. Is there any career that you may want to have in the future?
Well,
in your mind?
I wasn't thinking that much about the career I might have because, math doesn't really help with getting a job or.
Well, it depends. I would say finance that could come into math.
Yeah, but finance that's really boring.
Yeah, I'm not into finance either. Statistic, you can also try statistic. That's also with math. Actually, I think learning math is more about learning the way of thinking, and it can apply to so many jobs. Actually.
Yeah,
it's like fundamental thing because some people, if they learn like international relationship or something, and this is too specific.
Yeah, and then it's really hard to find
switch.
Something. Yes, and to switch.
Exactly. But if you learn math, you easily can switch from one career to another because it's not about the career itself; it's about the thinking.
Yeah, but the other side, when you are trying to get a job, they are looking for people that are really, really good at something, at something specific. So when you are good at, math, for example, and not in anything that you can really work for, then it's not too good.
If I were you, I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah. I think you chose a great major as math. I think this is one of the best.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't use it now, but still, it really helps.
Feel like it helps.
Definitely, I wouldn't change it because actually, after the first year of math, I actually thought about changing it to philosophy because I was really into philosophy. But I'm actually glad that I did it, because in the second year of my university, I created a mathematical theorem.
Wow.
Like not a big thing, it's like a small one. And then 2 years after, I use it as my graduate paper. So I basically finished my graduate essay 2 years before.
Wow.
So,
that's amazing.
So that's the plus, I created this mathematical theorem because of a girl, which is like a long story, but anyway.
How is that connected?
Yeah, because it was funny because I was really into this girl. There was those tiny coincidence things that made me feel like she was the one. So I was trying to prove that she was the one. so right?
Crazy idea.
So I was just using math, try to put our numbers together. Everything that can translate into numbers, like names, phone number, anything you can almost translate everything into numbers. There was 2 set of number, and I was compare these 2 set of number, trying to find a connection, and then I actually found it. And then more than that, I found something in numbers itself, and then that's how I started to.
Well, math is connected to philosophy, actually.
Yeah.
Really, that's interesting.
Right?
Well, did you manage to do it? Actually, find
the girl?
Well, yeah.
No, I didn't get a girl.
Oh,
She just treated me as a normal friend.
oh no.
But I got the
At least-
magical.
Yes, there is always.
So I think that's way much more important than getting a girl. I mean, okay, I didn't think like this at that time, but
Wow.
now it was,
Yeah.
you know.
Wow, this is a crazy story.
Do you have any crazy story about yourself?
I don't know if I have. Definitely not as crazy as yours. I can't really think of anything right now. Like I.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, to be honest, your life just gets started.
Yeah.
You're only 17.
Yes, I'm only 17.
In the past, you know, before 18, all the story that I had, it was just like regular story.
Because,
think-
yeah, my days aren't too interesting. They are pretty boring because every day I choose to do the same things. So
Yeah, like study mostly, especially you are a student.
yeah.
I started my first story. I think the major life event was 18 when I started to have a mental break
Okay.
and it lasts for half a year. And actually, that's how I got into art.
Oh.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a scientist, like every kid.
Not every kid wants to be a scientist. Most of them want to be an artist from what I know.
No, not me.
No?
I wanted to be a scientist
Wow.
when I was a kid. I wanted to be, you know, contribute to, not necessarily contribute, but more like, I don't know, when I was a kid, I feel like scientists was so cool because you could discover the truth about the universe and you can create different kind of things, like scientists, inventors, and, you know, make stuff up. That's something that I was really like. And then later on, when I got into literature, I wanted to be maybe an author, you know, write something. I wrote a lot of stuff, but then something happened in 18 and then I shifted myself to art.
So at 18 you had those first.
Yeah, that was my first like
Okay.
big event.
So I still have a lot of time.
So you still have
lot of
so much story ahead of you in the
Okay.
future.
Well,
So
I have something to wait for.
definitely. Just keep going though, because some stories could be really, let's say, tragic in a way, but you just need to get through it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you for the advice.
You know, I'm not really good with winter weather because I'm from the really south part of China.
Oh, so
My province is called Guangdong. It's next to Hong Kong. So it's like super south. And we don't really have winter. Like
oh no. So here must be a
it's-
terrible weather.
It was. But
There-
I'm getting used to it.
I am having a hard time trying to get used to it because
Really?
it's really dark most of the time.
Oh, that's the big problem.
Raining and cloudy.
Yeah.
It's like this all the time, and well, it makes you feel really depressed. And
It was like because when the sun started to go down like 3, 4, yeah, it was not easy.
But from June to September, it's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. When you were talking about depression, like for me, I was really easy get depressed. Actually.
Oh, Poland is
Yeah.
place.
I know. Even now, I mean, now the weather is getting better. But even now, I still have like, I don't want to say in a rude way, but it feels like my depression is like a period for the woman. It happened once a month.
Oh no.
And it lasts for a week. It's just like a period, right?
Well, then you know what we are going through.
Physically, I don't feel the pain, right?
But for the mentality,
But the mental thing,
yeah.
oh, I think it's even worse. Oh, God.
Maybe after a few years you'll get used to it. So,
Well, I hope I could get cured instead of getting used to it, but you know.
yeah.
But I didn't have that all the time. I mean, okay, my first biggest one was when I was 18, and which lasts for half a year. But after that, for many years, I didn't have depression. I think I started to have my depression after the end of 2021, because at that time my ex-girlfriend went back to United States. She's American. For the half year of 2022, I was really depressed. And then I started to get out of China, started to travel to different countries. I lived in Serbia for half a year, and then I go to other places. Now I'm living here. for some time it got better, but still sometimes it still hates me. It was really nice talking to you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the
Thank you.
video and everything.